Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's morning briefing. A potential stabbing attack was foiled yesterday near the Cave of the Patriarchs in the West Bank, where border police apprehended a Palestinian armed with a knife on his way to the holy site. Police spokesperson Mickey Rosenfeld reported that the suspect attempted to sneak in when he was spotted, and that police are continuing to patrol as a precautionary move. In other news, a young girl was found moderately injured yesterday afternoon when she fell into an 8-meter deep or 26-foot deep hole near Yitzchar, a settlement in the West Bank. She was found several hours after the report of her initial disappearance and was immediately taken to a hospital in Petah Tikva for treatment. Israel's top security officials are convening to assess the new threats mounting on Israel's northern border. The past few weeks have been a tumultuous, bloody time for the region, but rest assured, Israel is doing everything it can to stay one step ahead of its enemies. Prime Minister Netanyahu's security cabinet is now discussing two massive developments. The first, and perhaps most pressing, is the growing Iranian presence in Syria. Russia and Syria have already signed a deal to create a buffer zone along Israel's northern border to keep Iran away, but Netanyahu has reportedly promised Syria that Israel will carry out attacks on any Iranian target that comes within 25 miles of the border. The second concern is the political disarray in Lebanon following the Lebanese prime minister's sudden resignation, and then even more surprising reversal of that resignation. That incident nearly sparked an international proxy war between Saudi Arabia and Lebanon. Hezbollah, of course, is a major player in Lebanese politics as well, and just yesterday the head of the UN even warned that a fresh Israeli-Hezbollah conflict might very well be on the horizon. Meanwhile, the dust is still settling in Israel's southern neighbor, Egypt, which just suffered the worst terror attack in the country's history. We're hearing now that Israel is sending military support to help Egypt fight the Islamic State. It's unclear for now exactly how much aid this will be, but sources say it'll likely take the form of Israeli drone strikes. At this time, 305 Egyptians have been confirmed dead in this weekend's tragic attack when terrorists bombed and opened fire upon a mosque while prayer was in session. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is scheduled to visit Nairobi, Kenya tomorrow morning in an official visit for the inauguration of controversial Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta. Netanyahu will be making the trip to the capital along with roughly 100,000 other people for the inauguration to congratulate the incumbent president and to garner closer ties with the East African nation. But not everyone is celebrating. Kenyatta's re-election has been mired by controversy and allegations of rigging. His challenger, Raila Odinga, was successful in convincing the Supreme Court to disregard the election in August and require another. Unfortunately for Odinga and his many supporters, Kenyatta swept the second election as well, leading to an unexpected civil disobedience in tomorrow's event. Added security has already been provided just in case, however, as the civil disobedience is expected to lead to violence, as it has in the past. In fact, the split between Kenyatta's and Odinga's supporters is so deep that many have speculated it was unwise for Netanyahu to take Kenyatta's side during his first visit to Kenya in 2016. But Netanyahu insists that Kenya is Israel's, quote, natural partner against common enemies and for common opportunities. Further, Kenyatta has also pledged to get Israel an observer status in the African Union and to, quote, re-engage Israel on a more positive basis, end quote. Germany's parliament is now in a major public battle with Kuwait Airways over their anti-Semitic policies exhibited recently when the airline refused service to an Israeli citizen. In the incident in question, Kuwait Air barred an Israeli national from boarding a flight in Frankfurt based on his Israeli nationality alone. Then later, the Frankfurt court ruled the discrimination to be okay since the airline was following the laws of its home country. The airline explains that a 1964 Kuwaiti law makes it illegal to do business in any way with Israelis. But that's not good enough for the German state parliament, which is now calling upon the federal government to ban the entire airline from operating in Germany from now on, in order to prevent such abominable behavior in the future. The resolution passed the Hesse parliament unanimously, and Parliament leader Michael Bodenberg commented that the new resolution is, quote, a clear signal against anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli policy, end quote. Former Pink Floyd frontman Roger Waters is one of the most outspoken and controversial faces of the anti-Israel BDS boycott, but it looks like his anti-Semitic behavior is starting to take its toll. One of Germany's largest public broadcasters has just canceled its sponsorship of Waters' upcoming concert, citing his history of anti-Semitic rhetoric. German residents and the local Jewish community have both been petitioning the WDR broadcaster, which runs on public funds, to drop Rogers for a while now. That's because Rogers' BDS activity against the State of Israel has morphed into an aggressive, often disturbingly anti-Semitic agenda over the years. Rogers is notorious for harassing other artists to keep them from performing in Israel, and at his own concerts, he's been known to launch pig-shaped balloons imprinted with the Star of David on them. A few years ago, the Anti-Defamation League even reversed its stance on Waters and admitted that anti-Semitic conspiracy theories had indeed seeped into his views. But clearly, this is all starting to have consequences for the former Pink Floyd frontman. Germany's WDR broadcaster has confirmed that it will completely withdraw its sponsorship for Waters' upcoming concert in Cologne, Germany. Now that he's found himself in a receiving end of a boycott, you might say Rogers is finally getting a taste of his own medicine. That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.